we got this guy, Max Williams. Like internet homies kind of thing. I sometimes watch his videos. Looks like he made a video about Braille. Hanging out with Aaron Cairo, not clickbait 1 year ago? Not clickbait? I kind of want to click to see if it's not clickbait. But anyway, I sometimes watch the videos he makes. Sometimes he can be a little bit long-winded, but he does make decent points. He says, skate shops in America are closing. This is why. I'm curious to see why. So let's find out.
Era. Going to a skate shop. Growing up skateboarding in the 2010s era, going to a skate shop was always one of my favorite things to do. You'd show up there, you'd get your maybe even first skate set up. You'd hang out in there, you'd meet the skate shop owner, and before you knew it, maybe 4 hours went by. And hey, maybe you met a couple friends. Maybe you got closer with the owner. And maybe this even became the skate shop that you started to regularly attend. And I'd say this consumed a better part of me as I grew up skateboarding. But nowadays we're in 2025, and
when I was a kid, I definitely have fond memories of like my parents taking me to the skate shop, and then like we don't know about skating, and then the people at the skate shop do, and it was kind of like this, like you said, educational journey. They taught me how to shugu. They show you how to like set up a board and like all stuff like that. And then when I first got sponsored by a skate shop, I would hang out there all the time, and I would just like talk to my like, you know, the guy that ran like the skate division, and I would just, little kid me was in the skate shop for like hours just talking to the guy, and then like,
and we are seeing a litany of different
getting hyped on skating
closing. I want to talk about all of that in this video and tell you why these skate shops that were once open and very popular may not seem quite as popular today.
What do we think he's gonna say? So like he's gonna say, point 1, skate industry is down. Point 2, Zoomies has the monopoly. Point 3, online is powerful. I think that's what he's gonna say. Let's see.
And why they're closing, because I think we all enjoy a skate shop, so it seems very counterintuitive. Let's dive into this. One of my own personal first memories seeing a skate shop close in front of my own eyes was in 2018.
I think he lives in Chicago.
I went to for the better part of my childhood. I believe it was like even 2012, maybe in 2011 that I was going there. It was called Yeah Board Shop. This is a shop that was located out of Bartlett, Illinois, that if you were in the Chicagoland area, there's a good likelihood you knew about it. Back in 2018, Steve Davenport, who owned it, put up this post that said, we're going out of business. May 31st.
Damn, 350 weeks ago. I actually saw an Australian, like a staple Australian skate shop, not from my city, but from a different city. It said that they were going out of business from, I think it was 18 years, and they said 18-year out of business sale.
First,
that's
sad.
2018. It's like right around now it was going on.
And support for this 10-year run. That right there, I think, is a good standing number. Although I 100% wish he could have held on to this longer. But just below this, you see him right. We're doing a liquidation sale, and everything has to go. And you can see right here the same sentiment in the comments is shared. People are saying, I can't get over.
See this? That was 300 weeks ago. This one's only 25 weeks ago. I still can't get over this. Anyone have any merch? That's wild. For 350 weeks. So 325 weeks went by. What is that? 7 years later. And this person goes, anyone have merch? 7 years later.
This shop is an error of itself. Thank you for being a great mentor for all skaters. You guys have been the best. There's like people saying the crying emoji. A lot of these people grew up going to this shop and now feel that they may not have what was maybe a third place to them, or they might not have that same kind of interaction or same place to go to get that skate set up, and have to find either somewhere else to go, or if this is now making skate shops out of their reach, they're with no actual shop to attend now. This is my first memory of it. Real quickly, hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this video. All right, back to the video. But in recent times, the reason why I'm bringing this story up today is because another local skate shop in our area, FA Skate Shop, put up this post that said, for sale,
FA? ...
A friend of mine quickly reminded me that this is not the...
How much should you buy a skate shop for? All the boards? GoFundMe.
Only case that this happened quite frequently even in 2024, and there's been a couple
25K.
of shops that have closed their doors, so we're going to get into that in this video, but I want to quickly
and like take
show
over
you
the
this
lease,
FA
I guess.
skate shop situation. It's called FA Skates.
What other expenses
85
do you have? The
because
lease,
they've
maybe
been
some
open
insurance,
since
some like
85,
generic
so it's
business
been
insurance.
a good 40-year run. This is like a historical skate shop. From the time that I've known about it, I've always known it to be owned by a guy named John Schmoltz. This place is definitely also another spot that a lot of the Midwest skaters, even people that have now gone off to California that you've seen in like big video parts online, etc., are people that have grown up going to this skate shop. This skate shop, same as board shop, held
Rent electricity, water, and stuff.
Nice little place for the
Do we have water in the skate shop?
better part of the Chicagoland community to go hang out, have a good time. So seeing this post right here for sale in 2025, when this place has been open since 85, is seriously so sad to see. And right here says, "Are you closing for good? Selling the business in any location? What's going on? Been here since I was like 6." This person said. Now he put up another post right here. It says, "As it stands right now, we'll be closing up shop at the end of the month. Our lease has unfortunately come to an end as the weather is." Now I want to address that real quickly. Both of these skate shops I've shown you so far have been in the Midwest, specifically the Chicagoland area. Unlike being in California, the weather out here, we go through like 6-month periods where
I feel like where I live in LA, there's not even that many skate shops. Like, I feel like within like a 30-minute drive, there's like maybe like 2 Zoomies, then like 1 or 2 like local shops. When I first moved here, I thought there would maybe be more, to be honest.
It's just brutally cold, and so it causes a lot of people to not skate. Now, fortunate, for us in the Chicago area, we have Fargo skateboarding, which a lot of skaters go there in the winter. For some, it's a drive. For some, it's close. And that has been a huge blessing to the skate community.
Mobile skate shop and pull up to the parks. That's kind of an interesting idea. But I feel like the people at the park are not really going to be the customers for buying new stuff. Like, you probably make some minor sales, but for the most part, if someone wants to buy a board, I think they will go to where you are. Will my notifications go? Nope. Deepstroke1, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Thank you for supporting the stream out here. Let's go. Why didn't that work, though?
Chicagoland area. But aside from that, I'm talking about local skate parks for everybody. They close their gates. Not only they close their gates, but they just get snow on them, and we battle weather. Skate shops also feel this on their end because as a result of people not really skating, it causes people to not want to go to a skate shop as their board may or may not have just been sitting there or not getting as much use as it might in the summer when the local skate parks or street spots are dry.
As far as I know, if you skate a board after it's been sitting there for like 5 years, I don't think it has any negative effect. I don't think it necessarily will break easier or the glue is worn or something. But maybe I could be wrong. But I always just thought a board is made and it's always good. I didn't like if it's stored correctly. If you store it in the heat and the wet, yeah, sure. But if you just store it in cool, dry place, I always thought it just holds for as long as you want, really.
Film their parts. Now, having said that, this FA skate shop, much like board shop, is also an online shop. As I'm filming this is him right here saying, "We're battling to stay open while plus an extremely slow winter has put us in a tough spot. We have 1 week to decide if we are staying or going." Having said that, if I get this video out in time, I'm going to put FA Skate Shop's link down in the description below. So if you need a new skate setup or whatever, I highly recommend you go check out that link and get yourself a setup there. Even if you're local, head on over to it. If you're not, get your setup from there. Help support them. Help keep the local skate community alive. We're really trying to do our best here to keep things running. And by we're, I mean like just as a community, we want to help keep what was the original place that got us on a board and made us new friends.
Oh yeah, 5 days within the 1 week.
Right here, regardless of the outcome, we always love Illinois skateboarding. Prizes, let's go. Weather's about to break. Summer's coming. Skateboards will be needed. And you can see right here, a lot of people have this similar sentiment as the board shop thing, like, oh man, I was hoping you at least make it till the end of when I'm in town. We hope you stay. Austin Rayner said, you've done so much for everyone. Now it's time to return the favor, whether you stay or not. This is pretty heartbreaking. I am
pressed
going
the
to go
deck and
there
left it
in
outside
the
for a
next
year to
30
test
minutes. But that aside,
the glue and shape.
as I
holder.
mentioned, this
sick.
is not the only situation. And you're going to ask yourself, well, hey, you know, you didn't answer the goal question to why I came to this video. Why are skate shops dying? Well,
yeah, so like what I said, this guy's a little long-winded. 7 minutes in, I feel like we could have conveyed all that information way quicker than 7 minutes. But I'm curious to see what he says. I'm reacting to his reaction, and he's going to talk about this other guy that we sometimes react to.
Well, I think it is a litany of different reasons.
No, he's not.
If you look on why are skate shops dying in 2024, it gives you a bunch of different key contributing factors. There's like online shop dominance.
He just asked AI? Isn't that what this is? This part of Google is the AI answer.
Direct-to-consumer sales.
Come on. No AI.
Selling skate gear. Economic pressures, which is a very real thing. He said for sale, more than likely because of, you know, the ability to not only just sell product, but also on top of it, you have to make enough money to be able to keep up with the increasing rent prices of these locations. And that is certainly an economic factor. High overhead costs. These are all very valid reasons. Now, I did see this video. It says, why skate shops are dying by Shred Shop. I actually really like this channel. Let's check out this section of his video real quickly.
React.
Small little snippet gives us a good insight, and then I'm going to get right into the other skate shops that have just also recently closed and show you some more examples.
For the following decade, it leads us to the 2020s, and we start to see the death by direct-to-consumer. Before, the brands needed the skate shop to get the product to the consumer. This also helped build the skateboard community. But because of the internet and because of different apps and all that sorts of stuff, the brands were starting to cut out the skate shop and starting to sell direct-to-consumer. And people love convenience, so they can go on their phones and they can order straight from the brand, rather than having to go down the street to the store. This definitely hurt a lot of the skate shops because
even seeing things as bad as people ordering like cheap skate product off of TikTok. I'm seeing people order like rip-off wheels and things of.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess this is the dilemma, right? If you want to get your skate product directly from the brand to your phone, okay, great. It works out better for you. It's cheaper for you because now there's one less person in the like supply chain. But then what happens is the skate shop makes no money, skate shop goes out of business. When skate shop goes out of business, who puts on the local event? If you're just magical internet and then there's no like middleman to facilitate the sort of like community building type events. Who's going to run the demo? Who's going to have the local comp? Who's going to sponsor the local rider or whatever? So like once you cut the skate shop out, then like all that stuff kind of dies out. So then you just have the phone, and you have maybe some community in the phone, in the magical internet world, and then you have the consumer. But then you're kind of like missing out on this like brick and mortar like community, I guess. And that's like the biggest kind of dilemma. But at the same time, it's like you can't like fight this kind of stuff either. It's sort of like the way things evolve. If you say, no, I want to read the physical newspaper. I never want to read my news on a screen. Hell no. Like, good luck, because you are fighting the losing battle and you will always eventually lose. Then this is kind of the same, because it's like people just want to buy easily and they're gonna buy easily. So it's like it's hard to say to people, you gotta go to the shop and you gotta buy it. Because kind of like when these like economic things change, there's like a disruptor. Social media and internet was a disruptor. Once it changes, it never goes back. Like the customers never say, you know what? We should only go to the skate shop and we're never going to buy on the phone. That will just never happen. So then like, I guess what you have to do is try to figure out a way that you can adapt this magical internet direct consumer into a way that you can do community building. So I guess like the argument that I would say is like, okay, now we have magical internet world. Why don't we make a YouTube channel? And then the YouTube channel can make money. And then the YouTube channel can do community building and run events and stuff like that. I feel like that's kind of the way that you can evolve. Like instead of trying to go back and go like against, I feel like you need to kind of like go with the flow of how things are evolving. And that would be my argument. And like, it's sad. No one wants the skate shops to go out of business. But at the same time, it's like, you can't just fight the world and change it. Like, typically when these things start to change, it will never like change back.
That nature on things like Amazon. Now, can you sit here and blame people for that? Not necessarily. I think it's just what we've been given. Do I support people that go ahead and do that and recommend people do that? No, I obviously recommend you go to the skate shop instead of the corporate brand like Zoomies or whatever, or instead of like some off-market thing that's just a nobody. Of course, I want you to go to the skate shop. But what I'm saying here is a lot of people also, due to the rise in price of things with our economy, which economy, as you guys know, goes, so all of this thing I'm talking about is not just like, oh, skateboarding's over, it's done. It's like one of those things where it's like, this is going to happen. Skate shops are going to go like this, and then eventually maybe some will peek back in, and then, some will close. It's a very...
I just think in general, there's two choices. The world, like maybe this is coming from my 33-year-old mindset, and like I feel like older people can relate to this more than like young 20s, 18-year-olds. But it's like the world changes, and you have a choice. You either like resist the change and just say the world's coming, and you say, I'm staying here, I don't care what happens. Or you kind of try to go with the change. And like, I feel like going with the change will always be better, I feel like. The thing is like, yeah, maybe you wish the skate shop still existed, but it's like, it doesn't wish all you want. That's not the world that you live in anymore, you know what I mean? So it's like, you kind of have to evolve. Yeah, raw skateboards, yeah, brands have to become influencers and content creators. They probably don't want to do that. They just want to be a brand. They just want to be a skate shop. But I don't know. You can either fight or like adapt like and survive.
Looking metric there. But having said that, the reason I was talking about how you can't really blame people is because people also don't just have unlimited funds to spend. A lot of people are just working either like paycheck to paycheck.
I feel like
a lot of people don't.
I feel like it's in general as well from a business point of view. It's very hard to fault the consumer for ever doing the cheapest thing. If the consumer does the cheapest thing and it's like having a net negative effect, it's hard to say, you know what, you should have paid more. I think it's hard. I don't think you should fault the consumer in general.
Money just to throw at, skate supply, especially when they're in their own dire need of cash. And skateboarding's always been kind of built off of like, it's like you work, and if you have the extra funds, like skateboarding is always like that extra fun thing in your life that if you have time for it, you go and do. That is also
if times are tough, you're not going to spend money on skating. That's what he's saying.
And people are shopping, they see, oh shoot, I can get
Can't make a living with skate shop.
Similar
Definitely
to the
side
Bones
hustle.
wheel that's 48.
It's kind of almost like a
26
community
on
service
Amazon.
running a skate shop.
Why would I spend that money? But you're inadvertently hurting the local skate shop owners, and it's sad. It's really sad.
Because a lot of the owners maybe weren't very tech savvy, or they didn't have the resources to build a good website. We're not necessarily going to whine. We understand it's business. Why wouldn't a shoe company?
What's interesting about this guy's video is he makes very good videos. I'm saying this video in a video. This shred shop makes very good videos, and it's interesting that he's making a video saying skate shops are dying while filming it in his skate shop saying buy from my skate shop. You know what I mean? It's kind of an interesting one, but his videos are always well researched. So like, it's cool that he can think about it from that kind of perspective as a skate shop owner too.
Double the profit. But in turn, what they can hurt is the skateboard community, boots on the ground in every town around the entire world, because they aren't the ones shaking hands, high-fiving, teaching skateboarding and building skateboarding. On the other hand, we totally understand skateboard shops need to get their stuff together. They need to get tech savvy, get online, sell on apps, do all that kinds of stuff. But the crazy thing is it's starting to come full circle. The more that brands go direct to consumer, the more...
And if this stuff doesn't make sense to you, how it works is these brands have to sell their product to a skate shop. So that means that they're working a deal between them where the skate shop can still have some overhead, but due to that lost income right there, they then have to tack on a price that's just a little higher so that they can make just a little bit more overhead. This is like a very typical.
I like how shops get exclusive drops.
If they sold it for the exact same price that they
but see,
then got
that's
it from
I feel
the
like that's
brand for,
adapting, doing stuff like that. I think that's good.
And then they wouldn't be
good
able
idea.
to
Even
actually
Pokemon
make
blind
any
bags.
profit. It's just
good idea.
Simple business. This is not like the fault of a skate shop owner and like, oh, these skate shop owners are such bad guys for this or bad girls or whatever. Like, no. That's just simple business.
Shops will die, and then when shops die, the skateboard community dies, and then less people are getting into skateboarding, and then the brands have less consumers.
And this is a perfect depiction right here. Less skate community equals less skaters. I cannot recall a certain time where I felt that there was like community going to something like a Zoomies or a corporate skate shop. It's one of those stores that like you once went in and then you bought your thing from the guy who definitely did not.
You know what I wonder about Zoomies? Zoomies, the reason everyone hates Zoomies is because it's owned by like a few guys that don't really skate. I wonder if Tony Hawk owned Zoomies. If Tony Hawk was the 100% owner of Zoomies, would people still hate Zoomies? If Tony Hawk owned it and Tony Hawk made all this money of this big corporation, would people still hate it? I wonder. I truly wonder, to be honest.
And then you were out. The cool thing about a lot of the skate shop owners is that they skate themselves. They're probably teaching skating. They probably know other people in the skate industry, or
Zoomies used to be huge for the skate community. Zoomies couch tour was great. They pay these big contracts. They're not a bad company. I mean, that's kind of how I feel too. If Zoomies wanted to sponsor me, I would instantly accept.
Directly. That's not an experience you get from something like a Zoomies.
Sell to. It's basically a snake eating its own tail. Now, what we're not saying is that just go and spend your money frivolously at the skate shop for stuff you don't need. But if you believe in the skateboard community and you have a skateboard shop that supports the skateboard community for you and your city and the city around it, go and buy your gear there.
Yep. And that is exactly my point. Okay, now let's talk about this. So there was a skate shop right here called Top of the World Skate and Snow that was based out of Ontario. That a lot of people have been talking about the clothes.
I feel like maybe we got what we came for. It looks like he's just going to talk about more shops going out of business. But yeah, that was interesting. I do like the industry stuff. I think it is interesting. It's interesting to kind of like think, you know, skating's this thing that we love with passion, and then it's fun to, well, to me at least, it's kind of fun to think about it from this like business point of view, and to just like try to like scratch that part of my brain a little bit. But yeah, shout out to Max on the old skate shop grind. All right. 100% some good content. Yeah, I just love when people are talking about this kind of shit. I feel like back in the day, people never spoke about it.